Hello guys and gals and welcome. So today I would like to go over a very interesting rune word with you, and it is a very easy and a very cheap rune word to make because it is two runes, and the runes are not even that expensive. It's not even that expensive of a rune word. It is called White, and if you are a Necromancer of any type, white wands are extremely easy to make. And they are extremely beneficial to your particular character if you can find the right base. So what I mean by the right base is that when you go to the NPC or when you find a wand on the ground, you will see that there are certain wands in the shop. And of course you cannot make the white wand in a blue wand, mind you. It has to be a white wand and it needs 2 sockets. But if you were to go, for instance, to Act 2, I want to say Act 2 or Act 3 normal difficulty, you can go into the NPC and you can shop for white wands. The NPC is kind of capped out, I believe, in Act 3. And if I remember correctly, it's kind of the best zone. It's either Act 2 or Act 3, one or the other, but it hardly matters. You can check both shops. So you go to Ormus here, and you take a look at the wands that he has. And what you will find is he has quite a large selection of wands. And what you're going to be looking for specifically is wands that have a base effect. And for this purpose, let's go to a slightly lower level character, shall we? So let's go to my Test Runes character. And we're going to go over to Akara. Now, Akara is not going to have all of the modifiers because she's a very low level merchant, and I'm only a level 1 character. But if we go over here, we can take a look at Akara, and Akara will have wands. And as you can see, this one has +1 to bone armor. This one has +1 to clay golem. This one has +1 raid skeleton, +1 skeleton mastery, +1 amplified damage, and so forth and so on. And so as you can see, you kind of get the idea that if you found just the right wand with just the right pluses on it, it would be extremely effective for your particular character. And when you put the white recipe in the wand, the white recipe's effects will stack on top of the plus to skill effects from the wand that you put it in. So finding an absolutely excellent wand to put your white in is called finding the perfect base. Now, for this reason, I definitely don't want to just show you this wand and be like, this is exactly what you need, because this is not exactly what you need. So this is not the exact effects of the item because I've placed this in a base that has modified effects, right? So I have a different base for different items. So let's go over to the website, and I'm going to show you what this item rolls, and then we're going to add base effects onto it and sort of theorize what you could possibly get with a perfect white base. Joining me today is Mr. NiNi. He was taking a nap until a few moments ago. Let me button him back up because I think I think that's what he's asking for. He wants me to button him out. He doesn't like to be out if he doesn't want to be. It's okay, buddy. You go back to sleep. It's all right. Take a nap. Come on. Take a nap. He'll come out if he wants to. All right, so here we are on the website, and as you can see, we have white is the rune word DolIo, so only 2 runes, Dol and Io, and both of them are fairly cheap. You're not going to find them in normal difficulty, mind you, but Dol and Io are pretty darn easy to come by. On my character right now on BattleNet, I think I have, I don't know, like 20 Dols and like 20 Ios. So keep in mind that that this recipe is a fairly cheap one. Now, here are the statistics of white, and as you can see, it is hit causes monster to flee, 25%, +10 to vitality, +3 to poison and bone spells. That's the entire poison and bone tree. It is +3 to bone armor, +2 to bone spear, +4 to skeleton mastery, at magic damage reduced by 4, 20% faster cast rate, and 13 to mana. So if we compare that to my one that I have on my character, mine has other effects on it, which will make it a little bit better because I'm going to make it in a base that has, you know, more plus to skills on it. So if we go over to the game real quick and we take a look at at these bases, let's get an idea of what kind of bases we could be looking at. So I want to pick a character who's not completely leveled up. Here we go. Here's Zanazan. She's level 21. So that's about the right level for wand hunting in the NPC shop. Now, granted, you also kind of want to just pay attention to wands as you go along in the world, because there are a lot of really nice wands that you will find, white wands, on the ground. And so you really need to be paying attention to these white wands so that you can get the ones that you would like. And I pick up pretty much every white wand I come across, specifically for this recipe, because I'm always looking for that rare +3/+3/+3 wand that I can turn into probably the most broken white base that has ever existed. And this is the amazing thing about white, is that the power of this particular rune word is directly proportional to the base that you put it in. So here we are in Drognan, and we've got +1 Golem Mastery, we've got +1 Life Tap. So there's a 2-socket one right there, which is 1 to Confuse and 1 to Clay Golem. Now, of course, if you find a white that is not socketed, you can always go and get it socketed. That's not an issue. However, if you find it in a really, really low-level zone, there's a small chance that you could only get 1 socket from it. This has to do with the item being too low of a level to actually be useful for sockets. The item level determines the number of sockets that an item is capable of, and in certain situations you will find that 1 socket is the maximum that they are capable of. So let's look through here for a little while, and I'm going to show you how to run back and forth in town. So this only works if you are the only person in the game. So this is important. You need to make sure you're the only person in the game, because if you're not, everybody has to leave town. So basically how this works is all the vendors in the game will reset once every player has left town. So if you leave town and you're the only player in the game, the players' inventories will reset, and you can go back in here and you can look again for some more bases. Obviously, you can ignore any blue bases, so blue bases are not going to be useful to you, so you're just going to keep rolling through these, and you're going to try and find something specifically for you. Now, because white has that amazing plus Bone Spear and plus Poison and Bone skills, it actually gives +5 to Bone Spear, and it is actually one of the best rune words in the game for a Bone Spear Necromancer. If you could find yourself a wand that has +3 Bone Spear, and hopefully some other nice effects, like perhaps Decrepify, or maybe lower resist, or maybe +3 to Clay Golem, or maybe you're subbing into skeletons and you want to have +3 skeletons. Things like that are really going to help you out, because what it's going to do is it's going to give you a massive bonus to those particular abilities without having to put any points into them. Like, for instance, if you get Decrepify or lower resist or revive on a wand, you can avoid putting points into that if you want to. You don't have to go all the way down the tree to get to it. Decrepify doesn't really get a huge bonus for the skill points that it has. So we're not too worried about the fact that it's only level 3. But if you found a +3 Bone Spear, +3 Decrepify wand, that would be absolutely great for a Poison and Bone Necromancer. If you found a +3 Poison Nova, +3 lower resist wand, that would be absolutely great for a Poison Necromancer. If you found a +3 skeleton, +3 skeleton mastery, +3 revive wand, that would be absolutely amazing for a summon necromancer, and so forth and so on. So as you look through these, you'll start to realize, hey, that's actually pretty sweet for this particular class, and you could potentially make a white base in them. And the beautiful thing about white is that since it is so cheap, and if you find a decent base, you just go ahead and make it, because there's no reason why not to. You're going to run across the necromancer who might need it eventually, and they're very small. Like, here's one that is +3 Bone Spear, +3 Blood Golem, 2 to Blood Golem, and 1 to Raise Skeleton. If that was white, that actually wouldn't be a bad base for a Poison and Bone Necromancer, because you'd get the +3 Bone Spear with the plus already on the wand and the +2 Poison and Bone. So you'd be looking at, what is it, +3, +2, and then +3 again. So you're looking at +3 Poison and Bone spell, sorry, +3, not +2. So 3, that's 6, and then +2 to Bone Spear, which is 7, 8. So you'd be looking at +8 to Bone Spear, which is a massive increase to your Bone Spear. Same thing with Poison Nova. Since it has +3 poison and bone spells, if you had a +3 Poison Nova wand, you would get +6 to Poison Nova. So very, very useful. It also has +4 Skeleton Mastery. So if you found a wand that had Skeleton Mastery on it with +3, that would be 4, 5, 6, 7 to Skeleton Mastery. So very, very amazing. You can see how this wand can be very, very effective to certain particular necromancers if you could find the right base. And that is the entire thing. I have spent hours, and I mean hours, just sitting here running back and forth to Drogden, looking at his wands and his staves and things like that, and trying to find the perfect bases for specific items. And eventually you will. You will come across a perfect base, and you're just going to go ahead and buy it, and it's going to be super duper expensive. You're going to need lots of gold because the perfect bases tend to be very, very valuable, and I mean extremely valuable because the +3, the +3, the +3, like this one right here is 78,000, and it only has 111. This one is +3 life tap, +3 raised skeleton, mage, and it's interesting. It could be an interesting choice, but not the best. But see, it has one socket in already, so it's precluded from the ability to make a white in it because it only has one socket. And this is the kind of stuff that you're going to go over as you search through these wands over and over again. There are other things that you do this for too. So like the leaf rune word, also you're going to search for staffs the same way. And when you find a really nice 2-socket staff with the effects that you would like, you're going to buy it, and you're gonna use it for a really awesome leaf base. That's really all there is to it. These particular items, they are very hard to come by. And as you are running around the world, make sure you're checking the white wands. Make sure you're checking the white necromancer heads. Make sure you're checking, like little white staves and things like that for plus to skills, because those plus to skills could potentially end up some of the most amazing effects that you could possibly imagine. Take, for instance, the Rune Word Delirium, which we've already covered. There are druid helmets and barbarian helmets that spawn with plus to skills. And if you were to find the absolute perfect druid helmet with the right +3, +3, +3, and put delirium in there, you would have +5 to those skills, and that's pretty amazing for a helmet. And it's just quite an amazing way to build yourself an amazing item. So anyway, I've kind of gone on for quite some time here, and I do understand that that these particular rune words are they're amazing, and so I kind of get lost in the chatter. But as you can see, an amazing rune word for a necromancer. It's very easy to make. It can be a placeholder wand until you get something better. There are better wands for certain builds. Like, for instance, if you are a poison necromancer, you probably want to go with the Death's Web. If you're a summon necromancer, you probably eventually want to get yourself of Arm of King Lyoric. But the white wand in the proper base can be a very acceptable base, a very acceptable transition wand until you get something better. It has faster cast, it has plus to skills, it has all sorts of very interesting things which will help you out. Yes, Mr. NiNi? He's being bad. He bit me on the beard. He's a bad beard biter. Mr. NiNi, do you want to go in here? Come on. Anyway, as always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos. And be sure to hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button if you'd like to see more. And as always, thanks for watching.